right, so what does it mean to drown as a nurse? It doesn't mean to figuratively or literally go out into the water and sink yourself until you can't breathe anymore. That's not literally what it means. It figuratively means you're drowning. If you are drowning as a nurse, you have too much work and not enough time to get it done. That's, in a nutshell, what it means. For instance, if you are working normal day, regular day, doing your pass assessments and whatever else you got going on, charting and whatnot, and all of a sudden, one thing, it doesn't take much, it's not even a patient going bad or, behaving ugly or anything. It could be an order that you see that comes through that looks kind of funny. And you're like, oh, wait a minute, let me call the doctor before I give this patient 1,300 milligrams of acetaminophen. Because I don't think that's what was meant. Well, 1,300 might actually happen. Let's say 13,000 milligrams of acetaminophen. You say, wait a minute, this could be a typo. Let me double check, see if the physician wants me to give 13,000 acetaminophens. Or Tylenols, whatever you want to call it. Milligrams of Tylenol. So, you set everything down, you call the doc, you say, hey, doc, do you really want me to give 13,000 milligrams of acetaminophen? He says, no, I just want 1,000 of them. 1,000 milligrams. Okay. By the time you make that phone call, correct the order, get back, something else has done happened. Let's say somebody calls out, oh, I got pain. Or, something along that nature. Not even another big thing. Not even a big thing. It's just now you've got two things to handle before you can get back to your normal one thing. And so you handle both of these things, and by this time, you're probably 20 minutes behind. You got an hour before and an hour after, according to most places. You got assessments and charting and whatnot, and so you're like, oh, well, I'm just going to kind of put off charting for a little bit, and I'm going to do this or that or the other. And then, let's say you got a CNA that doesn't get your vitals on time, or you got to give a medication that requires a pulse rate like DIG or something like that, and your CNA hasn't got your pulse rate, or you got to get your vitals for a patient that is getting something crazy. All of a sudden you get your vitals, and then there's another 2-3 minutes. You get that pulse rate for DIG, there's another 2-3 minutes. Well, now you're 26 minutes behind, out of your hour. You're going to start drowning. And when you start drowning, it literally feels like, well, I'm going to say it figuratively feels like you're underwater and you cannot get back up. You hear nurses a lot of times say that they don't go to the bathroom and they don't eat, and they don't do anything, but they stay on the floor. A lot of times those nurses are drowning, and it is terrible to drown. It is no fun to drown. I drowned today. It sucked. I do not like drowning. Drowning is not my idea of fun. It makes time go fast. I'll say that much. It makes time go fast. And it does not take much at all to drown. New nurses drown a lot more frequent than experienced nurses. I'll say that much. But experienced nurses drown too. And it is no fun. And there is nothing worse than drowning. And you walk by the nurse station or whatever, wherever your team meets, and you see your CNAs sitting there on the phone, playing or texting, just sitting there. Or you're drowning and you see your charge nurse just sitting there texting somebody. I mean, that is the worst. Just drowning and seeing somebody just not doing nothing, and there's plenty they can do to help. By the way, this was not the situation for me today. Everybody was drowning and couldn't nobody help nobody today. But it is just the absolute worst feeling when you're drowning and there's plenty of staff that can actually do something to help you. It just, you know, I don't much care for that. I know I've said before in the past, a good CNA can make or break your night. A bad CNA can break your night quicker than anything. I mean, it's just, they can. Ugh, I used to hate working with one particular CNA because I knew my night was going bad immediately as soon as I saw my my team huddle. I was like, ugh, I gotta work with him. Please put me on a different team. I hated working with that CNA. I hated it, and I didn't hide it either. In any case, CNAs, be good to you nurses. Nurses, be good to you CNAs. Because if you're drowning, you need all the help you can get. It's just, it makes for a hard day when you're drowning. It truly does. So, if you're out there drowning, it's going to get better. Especially if you're a new nurse, you're going to get it one day. If you're an experienced nurse and you're out there drowning, just remember you're not a new grad anymore. And you're drowning today, but maybe not tomorrow. But everybody drowns. I did today. I wasn't the only one either. It was all of us. So, hope it helps. Thank you much.